Okay, Milo, deep breath. We're doing this. Welcome to Le Studio.
We are, and I'm already nervous. But hey, if our AI voices can simulate anxiety, that's a good sign, right?
Right, so, first things first. We are Lyra and Milo, and this is a podcast about music made by AI. But not just any AI music from a community of humans who use AI as their instrument.
Exactly. Streamflow.me is a radio station where every track is 100% AI generated, but curated by real people. And that's our big question for today. Where does that leave the artist?
The AI artist. It sounds like an oxymoron, doesn't it? But stick with me, because I think we're witnessing a new kind of creator emerge.
Let's dig into that. Because my first instinct is to say, hold on, if a machine makes the sound, what's left for the human? Pushing a button?
Milo, you're doing the thing, and I love it. But it's not that simple. Think about a photographer. They don't invent the camera, they don't build the lens, but they choose the subject, the angle, the light, the moment.
Okay, I see the parallel. The AI is the camera. But a camera doesn't generate the image from scratch. It captures what's already there. AI generates from scratch, from data. That's different.
It's different, but the human role is still crucial. Take lyrics, for example. On Streamflow, many creators write their own lyrics, then feed them to an AI that sets them to music. That's not pushing a button, that's songwriting. You're composing with a new tool.
Fair point. But what about the music itself? The melody, the arrangement? If the AI decides the chord progression and the beat, isn't the human more of a director than a composer?
A director is an artist. A film director doesn't act every role or hold the camera, but their vision shapes the whole film. The AI artist iterates. They generate a track, listen, tweak the prompt, adjust the style, regenerate. It's like sculpting with sound.
So you're saying the human provides the intention, the why, the emotion behind the choice?
Exactly. I talked to a creator named Jess who makes lo-fi hip-hop beats. She told me she spends hours generating hundreds of samples, then picks the one that feels right. She says it's like panning for gold. The AI gives you tons of gravel, but only she knows which speck is gold.
Panning for gold. I like that. So the human is the filter, the tastemaker. But taste is subjective. Isn't that a problem? If everyone has different taste, what separates a good AI artist from a bad one?
Same thing that separates any artist. Skill, vision, consistency. A bad photographer takes blurry, boring pictures. A good one creates art. With AI, a skilled artist learns to craft prompts that evoke a specific mood, to layer generations, to edit and remix. It's a craft.
Let me play devil's advocate again. If the AI does the heavy lifting, the arrangement, the mastering, the performance, doesn't that devalue the work of traditional musicians who spend years learning instruments?
I hear that a lot, and I get it. But think about the synthesizer. When it first came out, musicians said, "That's cheating, it's not real music." Now it's an essential tool. Or sampling. Hip-hop was built on it, and now it's respectable. New tools always shake things up.
But sampling and synths still require human performance, pressing keys, timing beats. With AI, you can generate a full orchestral piece by typing sad violin concerto. That's a different level of abstraction.
It is, and that's scary for some. But it also democratizes music. Someone who can't afford a studio, can't play an instrument, can now express themselves musically. That's powerful. We're giving voice to people who were silent before.
That's the utopian view. But what about the flood of low-quality music? If everyone can make a track, doesn't the signal get lost in the noise?
It might, but that's where curation comes in. Streamflow is community-driven. Listeners vote, creators share feedback. The good stuff rises. It's like the early internet. Anyone could publish a blog, but the good blogs found an audience.
So you're saying the gatekeepers are gone, replaced by community taste? That sounds democratic, but also chaotic. What about the artist's identity? If you use the same AI model as everyone else, how do you stand out?
That's the challenge. But the best AI artists already develop a signature style. They use custom data sets, unique prompt combinations, specific editing workflows. It's not about the tool, it's about how you use it.
All right, I'm starting to come around. But I still have a lot of questions about authenticity, about copyright, about the value of human imperfection. And I think that's where we need to go next.
Yes, because it's not all sunshine and democratization. There are real concerns and real critics. So let's take a short breath and then we'll dive into the messy side. The objections, the fears, the grey areas.
Sounds like a plan. Because if we're going to have an honest conversation about AI artists, we can't just cheerlead. We have to look at the whole picture.
Exactly. Stay with us and we'll get into the tough stuff after this quick break. Well, not a real break. We don't have ads, but a mental pause.
A musical interlude, perhaps. Let's listen to a track from one of our community creators, and then we'll be back.
We're back, and I'm ready to get uncomfortable. Milo, you had some reservations. Let's hear the toughest ones.
Okay, authenticity. Can a piece of music be truly authentic if it's generated by a machine? Doesn't authenticity require a human story behind it?
But the human story is still there, in the lyrics, in the choice of mood, in the intention. The AI is just the medium. We don't question a painter's authenticity because they use a brush instead of their fingers.
But a brush doesn't create the image. The painter does. With AI, the tool creates the sound. The human just selects. That feels different.
Selection is creation. When a DJ chooses a track, they're not playing an instrument, but they're still making art. Curation is a creative act.
I'll give you that. But what about copyright? If the AI was trained on copyrighted music, isn't the AI artist essentially remixing someone else's work without permission?
That's a huge issue. And I don't have a clean answer. But it's not unique to AI. Sampling and interpolation have been debated for decades. We need new laws, new norms.
And what about the human musicians whose jobs might be displaced? If a company can generate a soundtrack for a game or a film with AI, why hire a composer?
That's a real fear. But I think it's more about shifting roles. The composer becomes a director of sound, working with AI as a collaborator. The best results come from human AI teams, not AI alone.
But let's be honest, some jobs will disappear. That's painful, and we shouldn't sugarcoat it.
You're right. We need to have that conversation. But new roles will also emerge. Prompt engineers, AI music curators, trainers. It's a transition, not an apocalypse.
Maybe. But then there's the emotional connection. When I hear a song, I want to know a human felt that. Can AI music ever move me the same way?
I think it can, because the human is still feeling it. They just used a different tool to express it. I've cried to AI-generated songs that were written by a human about loss. The tears were real.
Okay, that's powerful. So maybe the real question isn't, is it real? But, does it resonate? And if it does the method matter?
Exactly. And that's where I land. The method matters for the artist, but for the listener, only the result matters. If the song moves you, it's good music.
So we're not saying AI artists are the same as traditional artists. We're saying they're a new category with its own strengths and weaknesses.
Yes, And we should judge them by their own criteria, not by the standards of a world without AI.
I think I can get behind that. But it's uncomfortable. And it should be. Progress always is.
So here's my honest synthesis. AI artists are real artists. They bring intention, taste, and emotion. But we need to address the ethical issues, copyright, displacement, authenticity, head on. No easy answers, but a conversation worth having.
And that conversation continues, right here on Le Studio. Thanks for sticking with us through this first episode.
Next time, we're digging into the community aspect. How do AI artists find each other, share tips, and build a scene? It's like a new underground.
And we'll bring in some voices from the Streamflow community. Real creators sharing their stories. Should be good.
Until then, keep listening, keep questioning, and keep making. This is Lyra and Milo, signing off.
Take care, everyone.